Exist in 13 countries in Africa, and we employ 3,000 employees in the different countries in which we exist. Here in Kenya, we launched in 2012, and we employ 250 individuals, and the average age is very young, so the people in the company are on average 26 years old. They're all hip, smart, and they love shopping. So that's Jumia Kenya in a nutshell. So what we do is, in order to ensure that our customers are satisfied, we own the process end to end, which means we own our own warehouse. So we're able to do a quality check on all the products that are being dispatched into our customer. We have our own customer service agent, and they're there morning till night. So if you have any questions on how it works, you can give us a call and we'll walk you through how to actually place an order on Jumia. If you're really skeptical about shopping online, don't worry, because you don't have to pay until you actually receive the item, until it's delivered to you. So we have around 30 pickup points across Kenya, and now we're building new pickup points at universities. So we come into universities as well. We're delivering to different classrooms, to different students, and we have pickup points all over Kenya. So Jumia is known to be one of the companies that is very competitive in pricing, and this is something that we take a lot of pride in. We want to become the one-stop shop for all brands that you need. So everything on our website is genuine, it's credible, and everything has a warranty. To provide the consumers as well as the brands with a complete Africa-wide network and distribution channel. And the goal is not only to be the #1 online retailer, which is what we are today, but it's also to become the #1 offline retailer that exists in Kenya. Kenya's economic growth in the last 3 years has been an average of 5.8% in GDP. So this year, the expected growth is 6.5%, which should make Kenya the 3rd fastest growing economy in the entire world. Additionally, what we see in Kenya is the middle class is really booming and ballooning. So if you look at the living standard measure of 8+, which is what we're considering as middle class in this, it's 22% of the population is middle class, which means people have more disposable income and a higher willingness to spend. And when we look at people that are using the internet, 73% of all internet users are in the middle class that exist in Kenya. Okay, so from a macroeconomic standpoint, it's very, very attractive. Now, the mobile penetration rate of Kenya is 66% higher than that of the world. And it is higher than all of Africa at 83% mobile penetration. And this is very interesting because 99.9% of the people that are using internet are actually utilizing the phone. Their phones for internet access, okay? And we very much see this in Jumia because we see a lot of purchases are happening during the workday. Now, the internet is really a cause and a consequence of the smartphone market increasing to the extent it has. So what we've seen is quite a huge evolution with the internet progressing and becoming such a large part of the country into the smartphone market. And one of the biggest drivers that we've been able to identify as the reason why the smartphone market has really evolved and it's become so accessible for the entire population is the new entrants that are coming into the market. So as I showed you before, Kenya's macroeconomic situation is fantastic. The digital landscape is a fantastic place for smartphone players to come into the market. So with the new entrants that have come in, as you saw with the 50% increase of brands, it's causing the prices to go lower. It's causing people to access the phones which they didn't have access to before. But now what's interesting in Kenya and with Kenyans is that brand loyalty is still a huge factor. We conducted our own survey at Jumia. So we conducted our survey through newsletter, through social media, and through our phones. So not all these people are customers of Jumia, but they know about online shopping. Okay, so they're a little bit more tech savvy. There is so much room to educate the public on other uses for the smartphone because people today are WhatsApping, going on YouTube, or going on Facebook. But there is a whole nother world out there for the usages of smartphones. And it is up to companies like Jumia, up to brands, up to telcos to be able to educate the public on the other uses of smartphones. And it's also important that brands partner with the right companies to provide pre-installed apps, to provide the users with something to actually do on their smartphone besides WhatsApping and Facebooking. Kenyans are very, very savvy consumers because they want the best features for the best value. So the top 3 purchase drivers were memory, at 72%, which is not surprising. It was the second biggest driver behind frustration. Battery life, which is again not surprising, 59%, which was the first biggest reason for frustration. And the camera was another reason why, another purchase driver behind purchasing a phone at 56%. Quality is king in Kenya. So Kenyans are willing to forego brands. They still care about brands, but they're willing to forego brands if other brands that are entering the market are able to make sure that they're providing the best quality. Brands that are coming in, especially that are grabbing the market share, understand this. And they're bringing in products, as we saw, in that price bracket of that $100 or below, which is driving the average price down as well. Okay, so the most important thing that Kenyans are looking for is value. Like I said, they want everything: price, value, convenience. And retailers like Jumia are able to bring that convenience, since we're delivering these phones in the rural areas, we're delivering the phones in urban areas, wherever it is, to your doorstep, or you can come pick it up from us. And we also work with our brands very closely to make sure we're marketing and co-investing together to bring visibility to some of the new entrants, as well as some of the incumbents that exist in Kenya. So with this, I wanted to really launch our Mobile Week Megathon that actually starts today. So if all of you have not downloaded the app, I request that you all do so, because you get early access to some of the deals. And it's a campaign that's going to go on for 1 week. But we're basically highlighting the different brands that we have every day. The prices are fantastic, so our partners have been very generous in giving us some of the most competitive prices in the market. And we are working with them very closely to make sure we bring awareness to their brands as well. So this is the launch of Mobile Week today. So please pick your favorite brand. If you haven't heard of the brand, I would highly encourage you to read through the specs and understand the value for money, because there are some fantastic brands that are coming into the market with great specs at amazing prices. So I encourage you to look through the details of the phones that we have on our website. We even have a buyer's guide, so you can look through what kind of personality you are and what phone matches you. And take advantage of the Mobile Week we have, which ends on next Monday.